Oh, right. Sorry about that. Sorry, the WrestleMania sign is up there. And for some reason, at this time of year, when I see that, I just have to look and stare at it for a while. Sometimes I awkwardly point. That's just what I do. But guys, look, listen. SmackDown is over and done with, and that means there's no more obstacles, there's no more hurdles. The road to WrestleMania is over, and the only thing we have left to do is get through to Sunday and see what WWE has in store for us this year, 2019. But my name is Simon Miller. Welcome to WhatCulture Wrestling, and before we do get there, we've got to put SmackDown to bed good and proper, and we do that by giving the good bits an up, thanks to the finger of power, and giving the bad bits a damn down. So that's what we're gonna do. Everybody on the SmackDown roster, you better be prepared, because Simon Miller is coming for your ass. Not literally. Let's up those downs. SmackDown began with us being told, please welcome the host of the Kevin Owens Show, Kevin Owens. And that made me chuckle, because who else was I meant to expect? Please welcome the host of the Kevin Owens Show. Oh, it's Goldust, because that makes all the sense in the world. But with all that said, SmackDown began with us being told, please welcome the host of the Kevin Owens Show, Kevin Owens. And that made me chuckle, because who else was I meant to expect? Please welcome the host of the Kevin Owens Show. Oh, it's Goldust, because that makes all the sense in the world. But with all that said, and even though, as I have stayed to hear on Ups and Downs a lot, I'm done with these kind of chat-shows, this segment was still pretty good. Give it a no. It featured AJ Styles and Randy Orton, and backstage, these two must be pretty good pals, because in front of the cameras, they tore each other to shreds. It was a bit like watching a Reddit thread unfold. But Randy Orton started by saying that he was glad he stopped the AJ Styles versus Kurt Angle match last week, because nobody wants to see a washed up legend thinking they're still in their prime. Styles didn't like that, so he fired back by saying that Randy has been doing this for so long and he's only learned one move, even if that one move is pretty killer. And Randy was like, right, you want to come at me with this nonsense? Let me tell you this, indie wrestler boy, when you were out there 20 years ago fighting in the bingo halls, I was headlining WrestleMania. I think you kind of got your dates there wrong, Orton, but I get what you were coming at. But what he didn't see was AJ Styles' retort when he agreed with Randy Orton and said you were doing that, and you know what else you were doing? Getting suspended from the company. I tell you, that got a reaction from the crowd. That got a reaction from me. So we're now throwing drug testing into angles, and I'm all right with that, especially because Orton had one more thing up his sleeve, even though he wears that jumper thing that has no sleeves. But he said, look, now that John Cena's gone off to Hollywood, all you've become, AJ Styles, is the new corporate bitch. That was too much for the Phenomenal One. He got up, him and Orton started going at it, but when AJ went for the Phenomenal Forearm, Randy Orton reversed it into an RKO, and you already know how good that was, but it got me doubly excited, because if they're doing that on the SmackDown before WrestleMania, what on earth do they have planned for the big show itself? Now, if you are wondering why I haven't said much about Kevin Owens here, it's because there's not much to say. As soon as he had introduced his guests, he sat there. When he could tell it was getting a bit heated, he just got up and walked off. And to be fair to the man, that was really funny. He kind of did it like he just couldn't be bothered to witness what he knew was going to happen. But I can't help but think, why, WWE, did you bring KO back when you didn't have a real plan for him? He's only been back around a month, and as far as I can tell, he's not even on the WrestleMania card. If I see him in that damn Battle Royal, I may just allow my stomach to come out of my pants, because that way I'll be dead. It just hurts. It makes me sad. It makes me want to cry. When we take all of that and we wrap it up in a package, it of course gets a down. We then saw the New Day going over Kofi Kingston's contract for the world title that he will be signing later. And thank you for everybody on Twitter who let me know that the contract actually stated the match was going to happen in March 2019. So I guess I must have missed it. And then we segued into a tag team match. It was Aleister Black and Ricochet. They were teaming with the Usos, and they were taking on Shinsuke Nakamura, Rusev, and The Bar. It was all right. Not really much else to say outside of that, and the Usos did win after they double super kicked Rusev to get the victory. Although I did realize at this moment that at no point in his WWE career has Rusev felt so low, and it's become so normal, I don't even react to it even more. Thanks very much for that, WWE. You took the love of my life and you threw him in the bin. Hilariously, Alexa Bliss then arrived, who, let's not forget, is a Raw roster member and has nothing to do with SmackDown, but, because she's the WrestleMania host, she has brand new spooky powers, and that was doubly true because she was also making matches. She wasn't best pleased that Jimmy and Jay hadn't defended their titles, so they'll do so on Sunday when they take on Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura, when they take on The Bar, and when they take on Ricochet and Aleister Black. Now you'd be saying to yourself, didn't we just kind of see like a version of that on SmackDown? And you would be right, but now we're going to do it again when it's team versus team versus team versus team. So yes, we could have got here maybe a bit better, but at least we got here. At least the SmackDown titles are going to be on WrestleMania. The Iconics also cut a promo after this, and it was really annoying, but it was meant to be really annoying. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay are designed to try and piss you off. And they also said that they will win the women's tag team titles at WrestleMania. And maybe they will, and maybe they won't. I don't know. I don't write the show anymore. It was kind of just there, but I can't be too mad at it. Therefore, it can just get an up, because I feel like I've got to give it something. The Miz then beat every single member of Sanity in a 3-on-1 handicap match. Every single member. That's not just a down, it's a brown down. And it is nice that Sanity were finally allowed on television, but why? For the love of everything, why did we bring them up from NXT in the first place? They could still be down there having a wonderful little time and actually doing things that you could consider to be positive. Now, they just losing to The Miz, who took out all three of them. That's not The Miz's fault. This is a classic babyface spot, but it just blows my mind because it's so crazy. And look, The Miz is doing well in this new guise. He even had a pretty good line before he got into this where he said to Shane McMahon, look, I know you're a son, and given who your father is, that means you're a son of a bitch. That was good. Miz even had to overcome more odds during this, as if taking on 3 real proper wrestlers wasn't enough, because halfway through Shane McMahon got on the microphone and went, I forgot to tell you, it's now a Falls Count Anywhere match, but it was completely irrelevant. Now, I will say thank you, WWE, for taking this outside of the arena. That's always good. Much with Elias on Raw, you take me to brand new locations, and my brain and my eyes get excited. But eventually The Miz just pinned Eric Young because he's The Miz, and apparently now has John Cena type superpowers. Why did 3 people have to suffer? You tell me, because I don't know. And then Shane got all scared and he legged it in a limo, and as he did, a cop car arrived, and guess who was inside? Becky Lynch. Now forget the fact this doesn't make any sense at all. We'd already been told on WWE social media services that all 3 women were released after their arrest. It only took a couple of hours, so why on earth would she be coming to SmackDown in a police wagon to begin with? And also, if you actually did what they had done 24 hours previously, you wouldn't be on SmackDown, you wouldn't be on WrestleMania, you probably wouldn't be on WWE programming for the rest of the year. You'd be in jail for longer than Kurt Hawkins' losing streak. It was nice and simple too. She ignored Corey Graves, who was trying to do the interview. She stood on a table and she basically just played up to the fans. And I'm going to say this really quietly, maybe she actually played up a little bit too much to the fans. It felt a tiny bit forced, but she's going to go to WrestleMania 35 on Sunday. She's going to win both belts, and everybody in management is going to hate that because they planted the seeds a year ago to make sure the first ever main event for the women at Mania would be Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte, but that's not how Bex rolls. She's going to throw a spanner in the works, and she better do. I tell you, if she doesn't, I don't think I can handle the internet backlash. Either way, give it up. WWE then realized, oh no, we're meant to push the Battle Royals, and we got 2 this year. Obviously, we got the women's and the men's. Whatever are we going to do? So they took both their hands and they just pushed it together to create what they were calling the biggest mixed tag team match ever. That didn't even come out right. Basically went, the biggest mixed tag person match ever. I don't know, look, I gotta get my phone for this because it had about 742 people in it. Because it was EC3, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Andrade, Zelina Vega, Lana, Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows, and Shelton Benjamin versus Nikki Cross, Heavy Machinery, Naomi, The Hardys, R-Truth, Carmella, and Asuka. Jeez, and if you are wondering why Andrade was in there too, it's because unfortunately Rey Mysterio got injured on Raw, taking on Baron Corbin, so that match had to be scrapped, and he got put on this instead. In case you're wondering, it's getting it down. Apparently there wasn't enough people in there to begin with because eventually Lacey Evans came out and she did her little walk, and I would bet you everything that she is going to win the Women's Battle Royal on Sunday, and then finally we'll get a payoff for these interruptions. And of course we had a dance break with Carmella and R-Truth. That's just what they do. At one point we even had Nikki Cross on Shelton Benjamin's back, like she was some kind of bird. Don't know why I said that. I can just imagine like a bird attacking someone and being all over their back. Point is, it was basically carnage from start to finish. The ending was funny, which I appreciated. After Jeff Hardy and Asuka had kicked EC3's ass, because that is apparently all EC3 is good for nowadays, Asuka went to hug Jeff Hardy and then went, nah, screw that, turned on him and chucked him over the top rope. Obviously the match itself was ruled a no contest, but at least Asuka, who's had a very bad week, was able to have some fun here and hopefully put a smile on her face, and let's continue that by just giving Asuka an up. The Oscar up, just for you. What followed was really interesting and on one level, kinda sad, but I think intentionally so, because it was Samoa Joe versus Ali in a non-title match. Samoa Joe just whipped him. Was getting it up. This is the kind of thing I want to see from Samoa Joe because he came across like an absolute monster. Ali certainly had offensive spots, but no matter what he did, he couldn't break down the barrier that is Samoa Joe, and eventually he missed a move. Joe was like, you're an idiot, squirmed over to him, and he made him choke out, made him tap out, made him pass out. He did tap out, to be fair. He passed out to the Kikida clutch. But when we are focusing on Ali, especially this last loss, you do actually feel an emotional response to him. Because look, think about everything he lost by not being in that elimination chamber and everything that Kofi Kingston has gone on to achieve. Maybe, just maybe, that was meant to be his, and he's now got to live with it. And I tell you, post-WrestleMania, you've got to start working that into the story, WWE, because it makes Ali a really sympathetic babyface, and sympathy is what every good guy needs, especially in 2019. Ain't nobody got it. The point is that I care, so as long as you keep me caring and ensure that wins and losses do matter, because the loss here to Ali mattered to me. I was like, not another one, the poor guy, and I love Samoa Joe. There's something in there. Don't drop the ball. Just to iterate though, Joe did look brilliant here. Stone Cold mother killer. And it's an up for our final segment before WrestleMania 35, and I'm going to call it understated brilliance. It was Daniel Bryan, it was Kofi Kingston as a contract signing, and it's getting it up. The idea here was to try and create a similar atmosphere to what Daniel Bryan had before WrestleMania 30, with the ironic twist being the guy trying to keep Kofi Kingston down is actually Daniel Bryan, and both dudes played their roles so well, they achieved it. Daniel Bryan gets proper heat. People were calling him asshole, they were so pissed off with him. Kofi Kingston is now the fired up good guy who just wants his opportunity. It was mostly the champ talking as well, giving Kofi some life lessons, including things like, you've been complacent all these years, mediocrity isn't cool, but also don't listen to these fans. These fans are parasites. They will take everything you have, and as soon as they're done, they'll leave you on the floor and they'll move on to somebody else. And as always, things that Daniel Bryan say, he actually can back up, because that's kinda what happened to him. He was our man 5 years ago, and now we just want to see him get defeated. Before long, Kofi had had enough, and he snatched the contract away from Daniel Bryan and told him in no uncertain terms that he was wrong. He's not complacent, he's not mediocre, and instead, he's been watching and he's been educating himself. And that was Bryan's whole point. He kept saying, look, I'm trying to educate you here as to what he has to do next. Because he saw Daniel walk into the WWE and win the World Championship within 2 years. And now he finally has his shot, and he's going to walk out there and repeat that magic, although be it 11 years after he arrived. He signed the contract, that was that. Daniel Bryan had this half arrogant, half terrified look on his face. And while this won't main event the show, it's probably going to be somewhere in the middle. It may even open it. I really would like Kofi Kingston to win. I don't care how long he holds it, don't care if it's a day, don't care if it's 2 days, I don't care if it's 10 minutes. I just want to see the look on his face when a dude I've been watching for over a decade has his moment in the sun. Now it won't happen. Look, I tell you, if WWE can tell me a good story about why it doesn't happen, I will accept that too. So a somewhat uneventful episode of SmackDown, given it was the go-home show for WrestleMania. But I'm still excited about everything they're going to do. My only worry is about the length of the damn thing. If it actually is going to be 7 hours plus, I'm going to be worn out. But on paper, the card, I think it looks pretty good. Now don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about SmackDown and WrestleMania. Like, share and subscribe. Head over to WhatCulture.com and read yourself some articles. Follow WhatCulture on Twitter at WhatCulture WWE. And what else are you going to do today? Go and watch more videos here on WhatCulture Wrestling, including ups and downs from yesterday's Raw. If you don't know about that women's segment, you should go check it out. My name is Simon from WhatCulture. Thank you for watching. And look, man, if you're just in the ups and downs zone right now, then next time you see me, we are going to be up in those downs, not only for WrestleMania 35, but we're going to be doing it live from outside MetLife Stadium. The carnage that I'm expecting. Well, I'm ready for it. I'm pumped. I was born to do this. Maybe I'll actually see you in the flesh very soon.